Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Nanny Phantom and welcome back to the channel. And I have a really dope video here today for you guys. As you guys do see, we are now in a new draft league, and this one is not like the other draft leagues that we have on the channel so far. This one is a Wi-Fi draft league, and I'm so hyped about this. I finally got a Switch, I got a capture card and everything, and now I'm ready to be able to do battles through Wi-Fi. So as you see by the title, we are gonna be a UPBA coach now. So your boy Nanny Phantom is bringing Munchlaxster United to the UPBA. My boy Jack, as you guys most likely do know from PTL, he's also the commissioner there. He asked me if I could take over a team from someone who had to drop out of the UPBA, and of course I was gonna say yes. This is a league that I've been watching, and it's a league I knew about because Jack told me about it, and I'm just super hyped to be asked to join. So I'm really excited. It's going to be my first Wi-Fi league. This league is going to be a really tough one. A lot of good players, a lot of champions that sit in this league right now, so I'm super hyped about it, and I know I'm gonna come out a better player just by going through this league. Even if I don't make playoffs, even if I don't win a game, I know I'm gonna come out a better player, but hopefully we can push for playoffs and do something cool like that. But there's a lot of cool people in this league. Jack, obviously first one. Trog, also who's in PTL. Jay's also in here, he's the homie, and a lot of other people, a lot of coaches, and they already all seem so dope to me. So I'm really excited to be able to share the battlefield with them and hear their commentary on their side and everything like that. So I'm super hyped, guys. I've been waiting to do a Wi-Fi league. This is the first one. Wi-Fi leagues are just so different because the animations, the timers just changes everything. You have to think quick, be on your toes, and be ready for anything. You can't really calc, and that's what I'm really used to. So Wi-Fi league is a whole different game. Hopefully we can get better at it. Hopefully we can get through into playoffs for this season, but I'm just so hyped about it. But let's get into it. So the teams themselves, the points that you could pick from is 120. So like I said, this team was handed down to me, so I obviously didn't draft the team. They're already in week 3, and I'm taking over. We are 0-2 because the person who had this team did lose both weeks, so we are 0-2, like -10 or something like that, or -8, but it's all right. That doesn't matter. We can try to bring it back. There's a lot of games in the season, I believe like 12. So really quick, I'm gonna read out. Actually, before I read out, guys, please drop a nice like and subscribe if you are new. This is the first Wi-Fi battle, the first Wi-Fi draft league on the channel, so I'm super hyped, and I hope you guys are too. Show me the love and support down there with that big nice like, and just leave some comments. Let me know about what you think about the team. And pretty much I had to pull all these mons out of what was left over, so it was kind of tough. But let's go over the team that we got handed over. So they have Nacrosma, Kapparaja, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Riku, Snorlax, Rabombi, Roserade, Regidrago, Zoroark, Runerigus, and Kadabra and Magmar. So right off the bat, I saw that there's no defogger, and we had to change that because defog is very key to have in a draft team. Sadly, there weren't many options left. There was very few options, but we did get to bring 2 of them into the team, so that's going to be very good. Some hazard removal is definitely needed. So first, like I said, this team was handed over to me, so I do get to make as many changes as I want to. So first, I'm gonna go over the Pokemons that I did end up keeping, and then I'll go through the rest of them. And I'm gonna go through really quick why I picked it. Again, I didn't draft this team, I just took it over, so there's not much like content that's gonna come out in the detail of why I picked things. Just picked from whatever I found that could fit for my style and for the team that I have in front of me. So first, we're gonna go over the mons that I kept. So first, I kept Nacrosma. So Nacrosma is a really dope mon. It's very versatile. You can either play it bulky or offensive, or even both of them. It could be bulky, Calm Mind, things like that, and it starts getting offensive but being very bulky. It gets rocks, Prism Armor, which makes it very hard to kill, and a weakness policy is like a really cool set that you can run and things like that. Kind of like Celesteela a little bit, except in its own different way. And having a nice fat bulky psychic type is always a plus to have on your team. I think it's kind of important to have. I at least like to have a bulky psychic type as much as I can. That's why I ended up keeping this. Very, very awesome mon. Super excited to use it for the league. The next mon that I ended up keeping is Urshifu Rapid Strike. So this is a mon that I never really thought I was going to try out, since I think the dark type is just way broken. This one I'm always like, I'm never gonna pick it. I decided to keep it, and I'm already loving it. I already played my week 1 game, and I just love the mon. This mon just looks so dope. It's the surging strike animation is really fire. It has a decent speed in 97, but this mon could be very good banded choice scarf. You can click the move Surging Strike. Like I said, it's a move that hits 3 times and it crits every single time, and it's obviously stab water move, so I think that's really dope. Really cool sets like sub bulk up. It gets a lot of momentum because you can U-turn around, especially if you're Scarf and Choice Band. It gets stab priority with Aqua Jet, which I really do think is dope. It's always good to have priority in your team, and we check that off, which is always good. And it's decently bulky, so it can actually set up on very passive mons with substitutes. And with its ability, it can hit through subs. I mean, it can hit through protect, which is also good because that's how a lot of bulky mons kind of see. Does this mon want to choice itself into a U-turn or close combat or whatever? It can't do that. They can't really scout for that. So I think this mon's going to be really fire, and I'm really excited to be able to use it. So the next mon that we did end up keeping is Riku. So Riku, of course, fast electric. Ricky doesn't like fast electric mons. He thinks they're overrated. I don't think they're as good this generation, but I personally still like them. I just love electric types. They're one of my favorite typings, and I just think they're still very viable in the draft game. So base 115 speed, always good to have. This mon can be very good Scarfer, good choice specs. It could be a good Calm Mind substitute with leftovers, things like that. It has a pretty decent move pool. It has Scald, so it can at least hit ground types that might be coming in, so that makes it a little bit harder for them to come in. It's a bulky pivot, so like it has good HP, good special defense. It can take hits, and it can definitely just be annoying and maneuver around. And just grabbing momentum is going to be very key. In Urshifu, we already see has U-turn. Riku has Volt Switch, so we have that Volt Turn core, which again is always going to be important to be able to bring threats or bring walls that we need to kind of bring in whenever there's a Pokemon in front of us. So I think it's going to be very cool. This Pokemon is I don't know, I like Riku. I've used it plenty of times in the past, and I think it's going to be pretty dope to use. So the next mon that we kept is Kapparaja. So this is a mon that I wanted to try as a new Pokemon, obviously from this generation. It's really cool. First of all, it gets rocks, so that's 2 rockers we already have on the team, which is awesome. It's a bulky steel, which you tend to want to have just for the fairies and dragon types and things like that. But what I really like about Kapparaja is that it's not just like a bulky steel that's going to sit there and take hits and that's all. It's going to take hits. It has good HP. Its defense is a little bit lacking, but the HP is pretty high, which kind of makes up for it. This thing hits like a truck. So it has a very good move pool, which I think is always good to have in walls, because you're able to hit other walls, pretty much break the walls that your opponent is bringing in for your big hitters like Urshifu or Riku. So then when they do come in, the walls aren't as useful. And that's what I think Kapparaja could really bring to this team. It can hit very hard. It's bulky, has a good move pool. Just pretty much help the team out by breaking things down, which is going to be very cool. So I can't wait to try a Kapparaja. It's going to be a fire one. Next we did pick next we're going to go into the mons that we changed. So the first one up is Alone in Ninetales. So Alone in Ninetales is pretty cool. We got our fairy type. Usually I like to have a bulky fairy type, but it's okay. This one's a different fairy type that's going to be offensive or just a support for the team. And pretty much what Ninetales brings to the table for the squad is a decent speed in 109. It gets Aurora Veil, which is always pretty good to have. The reason I did pick Ninetales is because of Aurora Veil. I think combination with Riku or Shifu and Nacrosma, who can all 3 of them set up, and if you can't break subs or you can't kill them, it's just going to be a long day for the opponent. So that's why I really like Veil. It's going to be pretty cool, especially with Nacrosma. That was the main reasoning. Even though Nacrosma and Ninetales don't go together too well, because Nacrosma can use Moonlight when there's hail. It can use it, but it gains less health. But I just kind of have to play around that, which is fine with me. This one's also good Scarf specs. It has Blizzard, Hypnosis, and one of the other key factors that I really like is sometimes I struggle against weather like sand or rain. So this is a good way to be able to break that weather and not have to worry about the speed tiers as much. But that's Ninetales. It's going to be a dope mon. Hopefully we can do it justice for the homie A-Drive, because he loves this mon. So next up, we did pick up Mantine. So Mantine is going to be our bulky water. It's a great ground immunity, and it's also a water immunity because its ability water absorb. It's reasoning, the main reason I picked it up is because of defog. Again, we had no defoggers. The team that was handed to me had not one defogger, so I had to change that right away, and we ended up picking up Mantine bulky water ground immunity. It's going to be very nice. It's very good with heavy duty boots, which a lot of mods got a lot better because of heavy duty boots. And that's really much about it when it comes to Mantine. Defog was the key factor in bringing it onto the team. So the next mon that we did pick up, which I think is going to go very well with Mantine, is a Mungus. So I love a Mungus. I used to draft this mon all the time. Bulky poison grass type, which is good because it resists a lot of cool things like fighting fairy and things like that. And what I love about it the most is its ability regenerator, because you can run it AV or you can just keep switching out. You don't really have to have synthesis or anything like that, or leech seed. You're able to switch out, get the health back, and just kind of play around like that. And this mon it's not easy to really set up on either, just because it gets foul play and it gets clear smog, which is always awesome. And I wanted to have a poison type to bring in and to be able to soak up spikes, so that was important also. And Mungus checked that box pretty perfectly. And then Spore to be able to put things to sleep, which can also cause opponents to add safety goggles to their team, which is always good because that's taking away an item that could be more hurtful to us. So that is a Mungus. And next up, we do have Flygon. So reason I picked Flygon: base 100 speed, which is always good to have. It's a dragon type, which we were missing, and then we have another ground immunity, and this time an electric immunity. So I think that combination is going to be pretty nice. Some of our mons in our team are pretty weak to ground moves, so it's pretty good to have two immunities, which is going to be very nice. Good synergy with the team. I love Flygon, dope looking mon. It gets dragon dance. It can be bulky. You can also have very nice momentum again with Riku and Urshifu, because this thing gets U-turn. You can dragon dance. It gets defogged. There's our second defogger, and stealth rocks also. So this thing's going to be very useful. It's very versatile also, because you don't really know what it can run, and it can also run special sets, which is always good to be able to bring on your opponent really quick too, because you know it could catch them off guard. So Flygon's pretty dope. I think it's going to work very well with the team. And next up, we do have Spirittune. So I needed a dark type. Nacrosma is going to be very it's going to be walled by, not walled, but psychic types are going to come into Nacrosma and Urshifu. So I did want to have a dark type. This is not the best dark type to have, but at least it has the ghost and dark coverage. It gets nasty paw, it has priority, will-o-wisp, pain split, things like that. Out of all the mons that I will probably transfer, this might be one of them, but I don't know. We'll see if it fits in any of the weeks. If not, maybe we'll try to trade it for something else. But this Spirittune, that's pretty much what it's gonna do. It's just a dark type that can at least threaten psychic types. Next up, we do have Chansey. So yes, we picked up the stall wall, the #1 stall mon. So Chansey's awesome because it's pretty much a special soaker. It can take on any special moves and just laugh at it, and then it can just either heal itself up. I can wish up and pass it to other mons on the team. It gets heal bell. I can teleport around, which is always awesome because it gets minus priority, so I'm always gonna switch out after they choose their move or they switch out themselves. It gets T-Wave, and natural cure is always pretty dope, just because they can't really poison us. As soon as we switch out, we lose that poison, which is always awesome. Chansey's just pretty dope. I usually don't like drafting Chansey, but this time I was like, let me give it a shot. It might be something cool to try, and it just gives us another really good wall that's going to be very annoying. Like, imagine playing against a Mungus and Chansey. That's just too much for me. And then the last mon I did end up picking up is Omastar. So this one's a little weird. It's our third water type. Spiritomb and Omastar are the ones that I'm kind of thinking I might end up trading, but the reason I picked Omastar is just for pretty much two reasons. It gets hazards in T-Spike and Spikes, which I was missing at this point, and I do do like to have a T-Spiker and a Spiker because you never know when they'll come in handy. And then it gets Shell Smash. So we can, at least if we do think 1 week this thing will be pretty nasty, we could bring the Shell Smash and try to win, or just catch people off guard. But again, you might see the team change. I might drop Spirittune and Omastar and then maybe switch it around. But right now, this is the team. I think it's going to be a pretty dope team. Again, I'm super excited to be in UPBA. It's a league that I was watching, and then they asked me to join, so I'm going to be like, yes, of course. A lot of cool people in here. Super hyped first Wi-Fi battle, so make sure you guys do end up dropping a like. The videos are going to be going up on Fridays, so that's going to be dope. So looking forward to all the Fridays like usual. And that's going to be pretty much it for the video, guys. So again, make sure you do show the love. Let me know what Pokemon that you think is going to be the funnest to use for my draft. I'm pretty excited about this draft, and hopefully we can start off week 3, which is our week 1, with a bang. So I will see you guys in that week 3 battle. Thank you again, and see you next time.